Hey guys, sorry if you can't tell, I'm feeling a little under the weather. Haven't posted a video in a few days, but sorry about it. Today we're actually going to talk about what was in the title already. X is what you make it. So while I'm not feeling well, my son wanted to watch the new Beyblade episode on Disney. So we watched the new Beyblade X episode, and the opening line said, X is what you make it. Right? It's some narration in the opening scene, and my son knows it word for word. And it said, X is what you make it. Now, while I say on here that I don't watch the anime, I do watch other animes, but just not the Beyblade X one. I thought it was very interesting that it was such a huge piece in the opening scene of a kids show, because it said, "Oh, it's what you make it," and it gave out a few examples. I can't remember what those were. Post them in the comment if you know. I can't remember what those were, but essentially, it got me thinking that the show could be, really trying to shoehorn people into like, hey, exactly what I'm doing on this channel, exactly what other people are doing. It's saying like, hey, if you want this to be a kid's game, it can be a kid's game. If you want this to be a fun hobby of collecting, then collect. If you want to take this seriously, then take this seriously. If you want to study stance and launch and postures and grips and all of these things, you can do that, which is kind of interesting to me because over the same course, my daughter was sitting out there and she was like, why would anybody care about Beyblade? And I was like, well, there's a lot of things that go into it. She was like, no, there isn't. She knows that her brother and I go to tournaments. She knows all of these things. But to her, it's still like, man, whatever. It's luck based, whatever. She's older. She thinks it's not cool. So whatever. Anyway, so getting into that, right? It is what you make it. X is what you make it. For my son, he's literally living out his anime, right? He watches the anime and he's living it out. He's watching it. We're going to tournaments. He's battling other kids who are living their own anime, right? They're kids. For me, I'm studying. You've seen my tribe video. I've made friends this way. We hang out. We're not like, super otaku, we're all gonna, dress up and go to Comic-Con together. But we do meet at breweries. We're planning a few workout runs where, at the top of a mountain or whatever. And we're just adults who have share a similar hobby, right? We go to tournaments. Some of us try and take it more competitive than others. Some of us are making videos online. So it is exactly what you make it. And for my son, he's getting so much out of Beyblade. I never want to diminish his results from this game. So I support him and I support anybody who's doing that, right? If you're mentally getting something out of living through your anime story arc, then keep doing that. That's for you. It's releasing endorphins that are making you happy. You keep doing you. You're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting yourself. Beyblade is a hobby, right? And if that's how you're feeding into the hobby, then keep doing it, right? Like the way I'm feeding into the hobby is making these videos. Yeah, I have the hobby. Yeah, I have my tribe. I have my group, but also, I'm making these videos and the YouTube community is helping build and drive my hobby, right? So that's amazing. I love the growth that I'm seeing on this channel. I love the support that you guys are sending. It's great. So, I while I don't watch the anime, I think there are things to be learned from it. We sat down and we watched some things, and I do have a couple pointers that we'll get into maybe at another time between the manga, which I've commented a few times. My son is so into Beyblade. Not only does he watch the show, not only does he play the game, but for bedtime stories, I read him the manga now. So that's, I've been reading that and I have a few takes on that we'll get into at a later time. But X is what you make it. And I hope that everybody is funneling and fueling their hobby and getting what they want out of it. Not everybody is doing the same thing as this channel. And if you're not, If you don't like the other videos, if you're leaning more into the collector side, there are tons of Baytubers out there, right? And I'm sure that you already follow them. But one that I absolutely love, he's a friend now since I've started doing this, who's getting into the competitive side, but I think he still sees himself as a collector, is the Blader Crow. He's collecting a ton of stuff that you just can't get here in the States. So please follow the Blader Crow if you don't already. I'm not going to mention the bigger sites or the bigger channels because they don't need a larger following. But the Blader Crow is definitely a similar mindset. I see he's trying to do some tutorial and coaching videos, but also he's got just so much collecting. I love his videos, love his stuff, and like I said, he's living in Japan. His whole family lives out there, so if you could, please follow and subscribe to his channel, Left Spin Bays. He's become a good friend of mine. We're looking at some stuff in the future, but yeah, he's got a great channel also. He's one of the larger ones, but he's honestly just such a good dude. Hey, if you guys want people to take Beyblade seriously, then we have to take Beyblade seriously. But what I will say to caveat that for this video is take it as serious as you want. If you see it as a game, treat it like a game. That's for you. Fuel your own hobby. The anime says it best, I guess. X is what you make it. All right. Thanks, guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.